What's up, boys? We are going to jump in the Mercedes, run down the street, and check out the Duramax. He's just ready to put it back together. So let's go check that out real quick. So look, I don't know if I'm gonna have anything to film this week because I'm waiting on parts. Just ordered the ECU today. The fuel lines, actually all the AM fuel lines and stuff should be here by Thursday. But just in case something happens, I at least want to get something out for you guys. So I figured we'd go check in on the Duramax. He said he's got it all apart, cab and everything's still off. Heads are back on, but he's ready to put it all back together. So I got all new brake lines because one of my brake lines were rusted out, and you can get the whole brake line kit for this truck for like $100 right from GM. So that just made sense to buy the whole kit. It could literally just bolts into place instead of sitting here cutting and splicing and flaring a line here and there. Then we're gonna tune it. I know I don't really make too many videos with the Duramax. I did when I first got it. I made a couple, but really no one was interested in it. But I love this truck. It took me forever to find this truck. I looked for this truck for a long time. I really did. I wanted the LLY. It's like the 05, 06. It's the only year they made this truck with the LLY, with the variable vane turbo, and the upgraded injectors that you don't have to pull the heads off to do. I think the LLY is the best Duramax to get. Like I talked about in my last video, if you didn't see that, I knew that something was wrong with the head gaskets or a seal or something somewhere. It never leaked coolant into my oil, never oil into my coolant, never overheated. The only problem that I was having was that the cooling system would get pressurized. The radiator hoses would blow up like balloons and turn rock hard. They were literally getting boost in there, and I was losing power. He took the heads off and said that the heads were completely done with like a valve job. He sent them off to the machine shop, and they said they were in really good shape. They ended up taking some off regardless because I went with a thicker head gasket just because, I mean, it's a Duramax. They're known to blow head gaskets. I mean, there is almost 300,000 miles on this truck. I'm excited to see it. There she is, boys. Got new exhaust manifolds, new head gaskets, ARP studs, all new brake lines. Right here was where it was leaking before. And all these brake lines are new now. They're just a whole set you can buy from GM. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I got a mask on. This truck's in a lot better shape than I thought it was. Rockers are gone. Besides that, she looks pretty good. He said he's gonna steam clean everything for me, so that'd be sweet. Everything will be clean. Just oil spray it. So back when I first got this truck, I redid all the suspension on this. All the axles, all the control arms. I did the EGR delete. That is crazy. It came off that much.
Fire ring on the gasket, yep. See, big trucks are notorious for that. And then this other one is right there. And then it puts pressure, because then it's not crimped no more, because these are multi-layer stainless gaskets.
Yeah.
And they're not crimped no more, so when it gets through that crimp, then you start pushing pressure right into this water jacket through that split fire ring.
And that's why it was pressurizing it,
That's
but it wasn't leaking anything.
The cooling system, you weren't leaking it. You were actually burning it. So these coolant in a diesel will detonate. Mally or OEM. Duramaxes you call GM. Well, you buy an aftermarket set of head gaskets, they're like $100 a piece. You call GM and you get grade C GM gaskets, they're like $50 a piece. But nothing else will hold up in them. I've done, I don't know, 50, 60 Duramax heads. I've never had one fail as long as you run OEM head gaskets.
And head studs.
Well, ARP heads. Actually, on a Duramax, if you're just going to use it the way it's intended to use, you don't even have to spend the money on frickin' ARPs. It's got 25 head bolts in it. You can torque them down and go. They'll last. They don't push, they don't stretch a head bolt. Like a 6.0, because the 6.0's only got 10 head bolts. Duramax got 25 of them, per side. That's why Duramax head studs are so much more expensive. There's like 50 of them in there. Plus all the little bolts, all the other little bolts up here. You can't see them now, but down in the head there. But yeah, but ARPs, it clamps them. And you'll never stretch an ARP unless you're running some serious boost. And usually it'll blow the piston rod out the bottom of the block before you stretch an ARP head stud. If you go to the next weakest link.
So you're gonna try to get back. You want to drive for a week, bring it back, tune it.
Yep. Get everything nice and seated in. All the O-rings dried up. Everything. That way make sure we ain't got no leaks before we put any throw tune on.
All right.
And
then what in race tune? What do you think? 70 horsepower? Good to say.
I mean, gain another. You probably you lose so much percentage of horsepower to the rear tires if you tune it up to a nice, say a 30 horse tow tune, you're picking up 100 foot-pounds of torque.
Well, that switch will have like a race and everything. I just didn't know the difference in between there.
Five tunes in it, so it'll go from either like a 30 horse tow to a...
You can only plow snow so fast.
Right.
Yeah. That's all I use the fucking thing for.
Plow snow. And you don't want to pull a trailer with a 100 horse tune in it. I know guys who've tried.
I just wanted to keep up with Nick now. I'm honestly just jealous of Nick. He goes and gets a Ford and he blows my fucking doors off. Yeah, but they had that big problem blowing them head gaskets, right?
Oh yeah, 6.0s. They push it because they only had 10 head bolts in them.
But like he got such a good deal on it. I think he only paid 11 grand. He's got like 20,000 miles on that truck. All right, sorry guys. I've been talking to him for a little bit. You guys know me. The whole wire in here is starting to take over with me. I'm just gonna go ahead and have him do the water pump while he's in here. You gotta take all this off to get to the bolts, the whole crank pulley, balancer pulley, whatever you want to call it, to get to that bottom bolt. He's gonna get the better one with the whole new case and the whole new pump and everything, all as one from Napa. And then it's pretty much ready to just go back together. All new gaskets. I'll probably end up servicing the transmission, and this thing should run another 300,000 miles. So you guys have been here for a while. You guys understand the whole wire in there. I always do that. New manifolds. I was talking to him about these pipes, these up pipes and down pipe, and he said, you know, after you spend like 800 bucks, he's tuned 1,000 of these trucks. You know, you end up spending 800 bucks on these pipes, and you get like 5 horsepower out of it on a dyno. So I'm not going to do that. Those are going to stay stock. I'm going to listen to the guy that does them all the time. I might eventually upgrade the turbo if it goes bad, but right now it's that variable vane, and I want to keep that. And he's going to put a tune on it. You know, he's going to do like the EFI 5-position tune switch, and like the race tune should give me somewhere around an extra 100 horsepower, and tow 30, and the heavy tow 60. Pretty happy with that. He went to go get me this little torch he said he got, because when I did my EGR delete, I ended up burning my insulation. Right there, you guys see how that piece of insulation's gone? It's because I burnt the shit out of it. When I did my EGR delete, there's 2 bolts, which he cut the whole pipe off and welded it. There used to be a pipe that came up right here. It'd come up right here, and then there's 4 bolts on it that go to the EGR. And when I heated that up is when I burnt that insulation. So he just cut it off and welded it. But he said he got this torch. That thing's tiny.
Mm-hmm, yeah. It's made by Smith. It's oxygen acetylene too.
You just hook up the normal tanks?
Mm-hmm. I haven't ever hooked one up yet. I just got it. I gotta figure out right there's the fittings.
Dude, that shit is sick.
Yeah, there were full-size fittings to go on your hoses. It'll go back on your blowbacks on your...
And it just is that small.
Mm-hmm. It's a jeweler's torch, but this one's called a tiny torch. And it's made by Smith Torch Company. I got a Smith torch over there my old man had since the 60s. You know,
That's
Smith and Miller.
Because I used to use like a acetylene torch.
Yeah, you can use matte gas.
And then I catch it on fire.
This gets up to like 5,000. These will get up to 5,000 degree tip temperature is what I've been told. Supposedly you can split a nut right in half. You can almost basically melt it in half.
Alright boys, well there's an update on the Duramax. He's gonna put a tune on this, so I'm getting a whole different exhaust pretty much. So I'm excited about the Duramax. I know 90% of you guys don't care. 99% of my subscribers won't even watch this Duramax video probably. I didn't film too much in there. He said he's swamped, so he didn't really want like me giving him a shout out or anything. He can't take on any more work right now. And I still feel weird. I don't really film in public. You guys know that. Pretty much all my videos are in my shop. So I feel weird shoving a camera in someone's face. Cannot wait to get that thing back. The thing is gonna be a raped 8. The thing's gonna, I guarantee you it makes a bunch of more power than it did when I gave it to him because of everything that he found. You know, that thing was completely carbon buildup. When I deleted that EGR, the hole literally was, I couldn't stick my pinky in there. There was so much carbon. If I can find a picture of it, I'll throw it up. I doubt I can. But that EGR, when I deleted it, there was so much carbon buildup in there. It ran 100 times better once I deleted that. He said once he took the heads off, there's a bunch of carbon buildup in there. It should run a lot better just stock. And then I'll have that EFI switch tune, 5-position. It'll have 5 different tunes on it. It'll have its stock. It'll have a low tow, a high tow, off-road, and race, I think. I'm not doing anything crazy. The truck, it's gotta be my one dependable vehicle. I gotta have something that I can depend on. All my other vehicles I've pretty much messed with. I gotta have something that is just safe and reliable. Most of the time when I'm driving it, I'll probably just have it in the stock tune. My brother-in-law got a Ford, and he sent it to him to have the EGR and the diff fluid and tuned, and that truck was like night and day. Honestly, I'm just jealous of him, and I want to be able to at least keep up with him. I don't know if I'll be able to beat him, but he's not going to sit here and gap me anymore, I can tell you that. Throw that thing in race tune and at least keep up with him. This thing's got to go in storage. This weather's just going to keep getting worse here in Ohio. I cannot drive this in the snow. I can't do it. This thing's scary in the rain. It doesn't shift soft. It like runs into gears. It like wants to spin every time it shifts. No matter how much throttle input you got, this thing needs to be tuned. I've been so focused on the VR4, I just haven't really cared about the Mercedes. Because if I get up out of bed, I'm usually working on the VR4s. And I got the Huracan to go fast in. So it's not like this needs to be tuned. I'd rather just have this 100% back to stock. But she'll fucking go. See, she almost went sideways right there. She started walking away on me. That's with all traction control and everything on. I don't know if you guys could hear that or if you guys were able to tell on the camera, but this thing just stepped out at 3/4 throttle. That wasn't to the floor. Alright, I'll see you back in the shop. Back at the shop. I think I'm gonna end this video right here, guys, because I actually got the fuel lines early. So I got the fuel lines and AN fittings. This is AN line, AM fittings are in there. And thanks to every single one of you. Like, a lot of you guys reached out and told me what that bolt was. It's a M12 by 1.25 to 6 AN. So I ordered that. That should be here in a couple days. What I'm gonna do right now, which will be in the next video, will be out Monday. I'm gonna put the fuel rail on. Talked about this before. It'll replace that little tiny bent up one. It'll be this now. And then I got the adapters that will replace these ends to 6 AN. Hopefully my fuel pressure regulator's here soon. But yeah, I'm gonna replace all these lines instead of these little metal lines that go into these junk rubber lines. It'll all be black AN. It'll be nice and clean. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Like I said, that'll be Monday. So I will see you guys Monday. Let me know what you guys think about the Duramax. I'm super excited about the Duramax for some reason. I know most of you guys don't care about the Duramax. There's plenty of people that do Duramax and diesel videos. People sit here and think I'm just like trying to rip them off or something, but I love trucks. I've had plenty of trucks. I used to do construction. For those of you guys that haven't been around that long, I used to pour concrete. I've been through a lot of trucks, and I always wanted an LLY Duramax. They're, in my opinion, the best Duramax to get. Alright boys, see you in the next one.